out in the water that I should, too late.
Yeah.
Like that time's gone. Can't claim it back. And, you know, what was a real testament is one of our guys who joined us probably 12 months ago sent me a message just as recently as yesterday. He ordered a brand new boat, delivered in February.
Yeah, wow.
We're talking over $200,000 in a boat.
Wow.
And in his words were, I would never have been able to do this if it wasn't for the vehicle that I'm now in, eXp Realty.
Agents unite, we're building a wave, breaking the mold from the old to the brave. Alpha state of mind, we rise, we grind. Collaboration's the key success, we'll find. No lone wolves here, we lead the pack. Step into the alpha zone, no looking back. Oh, alpha state of mind, we rise, we grind. Collaboration's the key success, we'll find. No lone wolves here, we lead the pack. Step into the alpha zone, no looking back.
G'day guys, and welcome to On the Couch with the Alpha State of Mind. And today in the hot seat, we've got Chris Janzon. So if you guys don't know who he is, he's a father, a husband, a fisherman, the godfather to my son,
Amen.
and he's a real estate agent and a man in business. So firstly and foremost, Chris, we're going to be talking to you a little bit about what you do, what your life is all about.
Yep.
But just firstly and foremost, I want to digest everything back quickly, because behind real estate, behind the man in business, there is a family-focused, orientated man here.
Yep.
And, you know, a lot of people, they don't really know who you are. And first and foremost, I want to know what's family life like at the current moment and previously as well.
Yeah, cool, mate. Great to be in the hot seat. And I'm looking forward to this On the Couch series with the Alpha State of Mind and getting to learn more authentically and real who you are, and Marco and Tony. And the whole emphasis of these podcast guys is to share with you the people that we are, collaborative agents in the industry, but who we are as humans first and foremost, as people, right?
Absolutely.
So thanks for having us in the hot seat today. Family life for me is busy, as I'm sure it is for all of us. It's a busy world that we all live in, work in, and provide for our families in. I'm a father to two daughters. My daughter Ellie, who's 2 years of age, or 2 and a bit years
Almost
of age.
forgot there, haven't you?
Yeah, well, it goes too quickly, mate, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So she is biologically my child. I've also been very part of my stepdaughter's life, Demi, who's 15 at the moment.
Yeah.
I've pretty much been in her life since she was 3 years of age.
Yeah.
And raised her no differently as if she was my own.
Yeah.
And we're actually expecting a child. And as we shoot this,
absolutely.
as we shoot this in, what are we, August, September, October now.
Yeah.
Nearing November 2025. We've got a baby due literally on the 21st of December. That again is another girl. So I'm outnumbered, man, 4-1. So there's no disagreements in my household because I can't win any of them. But very blessed to have girls. As a father, I'm sure many dads would relate. There's something special about daughters. They're very close to their fathers, and it's a very unique bond. But for me, I'm either working, fishing, or family focused and doing family stuff.
Absolutely love that about you, because you always say family first, and not many people in the industry can actually put that time towards family because they're always so caught up in the rat race. And you know, what's the purpose of us doing all of this if it's not for family, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we've you know my story this year. We've had a real challenging year.
Yeah,
to be
very,
real. Like Demi, our 15-year-old, toughest person I know. She's gone through a cancer battle.
Yeah.
We're going through her 4th chemo cycle this coming weekend as we shoot this podcast, and it's taught me a lot about the most precious commodity is time. You know, and a lot of agents chase GCI and awards and assets and flashy things, but when you go through something like that hits your family, you really appreciate being able to be there for them genuinely. And that comes through a couple of different ways. You know, having the right people around you. You guys have been instrumental in the support to continue to be able to run my business when I haven't been able to be there. You know, and time is the most precious commodity that we have with our loved ones. And for me, it's all about that. It's what we do work-wise that enables us to have more time when needed, as needed, with those that matter most to us. And that's our kids, our wives, our family.
And I just want to say how admirable Demi is. She's so tough and positive and cheerful. Man. I see her all the time.
We'll get through this.
Yeah, like how many people who would go through it is, you know, they're not as positive as she is, but she's always been a positive character as well. So Mate, I suppose that comes from the parenting itself, you know? Like,
It's all mindset, man. Whatever
Yeah.
you do in life, business, health challenges, it's how you perceive things is your
Yeah.
reality. And with her, you know, there's health things that are outside of our control. We can't control that.
Yeah.
Modern medicine can influence it and
Yeah.
get us to the desired outcome. But what we focus on is her mindset and how she's thinking and what her thought process is and how she's feeling on a daily basis. And for those that know Demi, she's a very timid, quiet kid, very soft, very gentle. But through this, and they always say that the toughest challenges is thrown upon the strongest of people.
Yeah.
She's shown us the strongest, most resilient style of character I've ever seen among anyone. To
Yeah.
face what she's going through as a 15-year-old teenager, losing your hair, being diagnosed with cancer. You can only imagine a girl at that age, you know, being a teenager,
Yeah.
where you're starting to get into those adolescent years where you're really starting to build your circle of friends, your tribe,
Yeah.
and the impact that that has. But, you know, through it all, she wants to be at school. She's not letting it deter her. And if anything, kids teach us a lot
Yeah, absolutely.
of, you know, everything that goes on in our lives with work and busyness and, you know, relationships and things like that. But if you just take a moment to look at the world through the kids' eyes and their perspective, it'll teach you a lot. I remember one time, man, I was sitting there at the oncology ward at the Women's and Children's Hospital in Adelaide, and we all got shit going on, right? We all got problems.
Yeah.
But if you ever want a reality check and a real perspective of, you know, your problems and what you're going through in life, go spend an hour, maybe two, on the oncology ward of the Women's and Children's Hospital, and you'll really see what true problems are. And I'll tell you what, if you put your problems on the table and those kids put their problems on the table, I guarantee you, you'll pick your problems up every day of the week and you'll keep them
Yeah,
because they're
absolutely.
insignificant in comparison to what these kids are going through. And many, not just kids, but people that are going through health and sick.
Goes to show
sickness.
there's just more to life than just, you know,
Yeah.
business and chasing the next listing and all those bits and pieces that we all get stuck in the rat race and all that. But I wanted to move forward with that because you've always been someone who shows up, whether it's in business or personal. Like, where do you think you get that sense of loyalty from and commitment?
Work ethic was installed in me from a very young age.
Yeah.
So I've got my mum and dad, obviously. They were married. They separated when I was about 12. And I sort of jumped between mum and dad a little bit.
Yeah.
Mum and dad were very different too, though. Like with my mum, I had a lot of rope, a lot of give. Whereas with my dad, he was very strict, like ran things like clockwork, like an army. Like, you know, you get up in the morning, you got to make your bed. It's got to be tight enough that I could bounce a 20-cent coin off the cover of the bed to.
I can see where you get your structure from now.
Correct. So dad was very regiment. So, you know, and it's interesting that as creatures, like I could have gone to my mum and I pretty much got whatever I want with
Yeah.
freedom and being a teenager and having mates over and, you know, girlfriends and all that cool stuff that you do when you're 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
With my dad, it was the complete opposite. You know, we were very focused on structure and organisation, consistency. Not that my mum didn't provide that, but, you know, my dad was very much focused on blocking out the noise and focusing on other areas of life, such as surfing and fishing and the outdoors. And I guess that's where my love for camping, fishing, and being an avid outdoor person really came from.
Yeah.
My mum, though, very conservative person, like worked in the government for over 30 plus years, you know, and continued that role into retirement almost, or into retirement. So really never changed roles, never changed jobs, but she was always conservative. My dad always had businesses. Some failed, some did okay, very entrepreneurial. But then I also had my auntie, my dad's sister, who had many businesses, was quite wealthy and was quite pivotal, was almost like that second mother that raised me in life.
Yeah.
And she's the hardest working person I know to this day. I mean, we had her over for a holiday and she was working more around the home and up before us and going to bed before us because she was more worried about, you know, and she's 80 this year, next year.
Bless her.
and she still is active in a German club and she's the president of a German club and running the committee and she's 80. And I'm like, Auntie, when do you like switch off and relax? But she just doesn't have that cog in her. There's no off cog. The cog's just always got to be turning. Might be a little bit slower now, but it's still spinning. So they're three people that have always had an instrumental influence in who I am, my work ethic. And then there's my dad's brother, my Uncle Herman, a man who did very well in business.
Yeah.
Looked after his family, did incredibly well in business, had a big business here in Adelaide, South Australia, one of the biggest concreting firms, employed a good 150 plus staff.
Oh, big company.
At the time, yeah. So it's always been sort of entrenched in my family, that entrepreneurial spirit and vibe. My mum, on the opposite hand, conservative, probably pulls me in a little bit and just gives me that balance that I need.
The perfect yin to your yang, and I can see where you get that resilience from, because you do have a no give up attitude in pretty much anything in all realms of your life, and I really respect that about you as well. So again, like I was saying before, you're the godfather to my son Ace. And so what does that role mean to you?
For me, it's just whatever happens to you guys, just know that he'll be taken care of and looked after.
Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing more to it. There's no, you know, that responsibility is no different to your own kids.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in life, you're going to take care of them, no different to your own blood, your own kids, whether it be finances, in health, in sickness, in weakness, in opportunities. You treat them, they become your family, your
Appreciate
kids.
it, brother. And I should say as well, because like Chris and I, we met in a very interesting circumstance. Actually, I was working in a traditional franchise model at the time. Chris had started eXp here in South Australia and always knew about eXp, a little bit about eXp, but I never really knew you. And we kind of met because my brother bought a property off you.
Yep.
And funnily enough, guys, my brother bought the property off him, and I was trying to be the big dog and giving him a call. By the way, I was a sales associate. Chris has been in the industry for many, many years, and I was trying to be the big dog, getting a building pest inspection, doing a bit of a price reduction and all those bits and pieces for my brother. But the thing, when I picked up the phone and I called Chris, it was very, very different. It wasn't like I was met with a wall, which I was expecting. He was different. He tailored to our needs. He was very accommodating. Then I asked the question at the end of the phone call. I remember I said, Chris, why are you doing this? Like, why are you so happy? Why are you so helpful?
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me that because you don't need to be like that, like the typical real estate agent. And it just opened my mind up to a different world. And after that, we met up, we started talking a little bit more about eXp. And once I came on board, I started really knowing what life truly was about. It wasn't just about business, but it was about family. And I think when became a father, which is very unexpected, by the way, we didn't plan for a child at the time, but I was at a crossroad where, you know, this is real now. Like, this is real. Like, I'm really becoming a man at this stage. Before I was just a boy. And when I looked at my life and I said to myself, because I grew up in a single mother, single mother household. My father wasn't around in my life. And I said to myself, if I wasn't here for my son, I would want a role model like you to be there. If I wasn't, if for the unfortunate circumstances that I wasn't here, I would love my son to be brought up with your teachings and your mentorships. And that's the reason why I asked you to be the godfather of my son. And yeah, you know, we are family now. We are friends outside of real estate as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, it to me, it holds a great meaning as well. You know?
Yeah, but I think there's something incredibly empowering about that, though. You mentioned about being raised by a single mother. I was the same, man. Like, I grew up in trust homes in Mansfield Park. Like, we had nothing. Yeah. My mum always provided, though. We always had food and we always had clothes. Not the best of everything, but she did the best she could within her means. You know, my dad was of a different status at that time with business, and he could provide and give a lot more at that time. But it's interesting how I always sort of gravitated back to my mum, because at the end of the day, us boys are always mum's boys at the end of the day, right? And girls are dad's girls. But, you know, to be able to really, and don't get me wrong, my mum's done incredibly well now into retirement. She set herself up better than most I know of her age. Yeah. She did it hard, but, you know, to be able to come from that background, yourself and I, to then be able to pass on that next generational parenting of a father figure, and, you know, what's right in bringing up our sons and our daughters. For me, you know, a lot of people look at that and think, oh, that's a bad upbringing. You know, single parenting is not good. And a lot of people generally go down one road and one path, and that could be, you know, substance abuse and addictions and things like that. That didn't happen for us, fortunately, where we're at today, but we all have the same choices too, though. At the end
absolutely.
Of the day, right?
I heard a saying once, you know, the people with the worst upbringing has the best future. Yeah. And the people who have the worst upbringing, generally speaking, if they can make it out of there, they have a lot more experience in life as well. And I can see that with you and I.
Yep.
So nothing to be ashamed of. Again, we walk
Proud of it, man.
Yeah,
I'm proud of it.
Yeah,
I'm proud of where I've come from.
yeah,
Where
absolutely.
I'm at today. I don't think I'll be where I am today if I didn't come from where I've come from. I think at some point you need shit to go wrong. Like the greatest growth in life comes from the best learnings or the best breakdowns or the worst outcomes or the worst situations.
Yeah.
That's actually like if you just expect not to fail to get to greatness, I hate to tell you, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to fail a shit ton of times
Yeah.
to make it to where you want to get to.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about this journey in life and business is that embrace the failures. I've learned to embrace it. They're not ideal. We don't want them. We all want that, easy road to where we want to get to, but you can't get there without failure.
Yeah.
There has to be failure. Without failure, there's no progress.
I think you only fail when you really give up.
Correct.
Yeah. So
that is the only failure.
Yeah, the only failure was when you give up. But
Correct.
if you continue, pretty much every failure is a lesson.
Spot on, man.
And you learn from it. So
spot on.
Yeah. So another thing that maybe the viewers don't know about, and we will put in a picture of this, is you're a great fisherman, and you travel waters. You are a great fisherman. By the way, he's come to my house once. He goes, I'm coming over to your house. I'm bringing you a gift. And I'm like, what do you mean? He brings up this like human-sized tuna. Mate, it was the best tuna I've ever had in my life.
I remember that.
And I've never had a fish that big ever given to me.
Yeah.
It's probably like a $600 fish or something like that. Probably more.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah? What do you reckon?
It's probably more around $800-900.
Yeah, wow. It was a big tuna. And just the other day, you caught a big kingfish as well.
Yeah.
So you're a very successful fisherman. Don't say you're not. And now that plays a huge role in your life, fishing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like being out in the water and for you mentally and emotionally, like why are you so into that?
The interesting thing, I get asked this question is, how many fish do you keep? Like, do you give out fish and whatnot, albeit to your disappointment?
Yeah.
It's actually for me not about the fish. As much as I love the creatures and I love, catching them, it's for me, it's about the hunt. I'm a hunter.
Yeah.
I'm a hunter. And I find I'm a bit of a thrill seeker, and I find a lot of joy out of hunting and adventuring and, going to places that not many people go to because it's testing. Like, a lot of people think, we're not talking I'm going 5 kilometres offshore here.
Yeah,
I'll go
deep
100
water.
Ks. I'll go 150 kilometres offshore where you almost can't see land. And a lot of people, they can't do that. If I can't see land, turn around.
Absolutely.
So for me, there's a few aspects to this question. Number one, it's about the adventure. I like to have something to look forward to that I'm working towards. So whether it's in 6 weeks' time, 8 weeks' time, I've got that time blocked out. I'm working towards that adventure. For me, that just fires me up. I'm just a beast working towards that to get to that little end goal of mine. The second part to that is the adventure itself. There's something special when you're on the water and you're disconnected from land. It changes your perspective of everything. When you're connected to Mother Nature and water, I don't know, call it a spiritual healing, a spiritual checkout. For me, I feel most vulnerable but grounded when I'm out in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I can't see land and I can't see people and humans. That inspires me. It motivates me to do it more.
See, I'm the complete opposite of that. And, he does invite me to these trips. And as much as I'd love to, I'd probably go 5Ks out from shore. But I just can't go to the deep water fishing. One, I'm scared of sharks. And two, I'm scared of deep water. I just... I have a lot of respect for you. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll face my fears, but I'd rather be on land.
Look, I love camping still to this day. Don't get me wrong. A campfire on the river by the beach, it's awesome. But I don't know. For me, water's spiritually healing. Like I feel my true self, if I could say it for some better word, when I'm on the water. I'm a different person.
Yeah.
I'm a water baby by heart and nature.
Absolutely. I mean, in saying that too, like, what sort of values would you want to pass on to your kids? Because you got all these interesting combinations here. Yeah.
Kindness, I think, is the greatest attribute that's most overlooked in today's world.
Yeah.
One of the things I always I will pass on to my kids is be kind irrespective of the person that's in front of you, where they've come from and what they're trying to achieve and do. Empathy, is a great attribute as well. So for me, it's just about showing our kids how to be kind to other people, irrespective of their backgrounds, their race, where they've come from, who they are, what your initial perception is of that person. Never judge. Or if you put more kindness out into the world, it's amazing how much easier the world becomes for you, because more kindness will come back your way.
Yeah.
So I'm a believer of what you put out in the universe is what you'll get back, whether that be through energy. So that's probably the next attribute that I want to pass on to my kids. I've done well in life and business just purely because of energy.
Yeah.
It's amazing the vibration you put out to how much it can bring back in just purely by being energetic and being kind to people. If you combine those two attributes, you will be successful in whatever you do.
Absolutely.
And the third one is work ethic, because there's no point being kind and having good energy if you don't have the work ethic in life or business. It all comes down to work ethic in any personal relationships, in any personal things that are important to you in your personal life and or business professionally. You'll get out what you put in, and nothing will outwork work ethic. You have to get up, you've got to do the work in anything that you do in life and business, plain and simple. So they're the three biggest values for me that I want to pass on to my kids.
Mate, that's great. And it's very interesting because you pretty much answered the next question I had for you.
Okay,
because,
2 for 1 here.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're a husband, a father, a director, and a mentor to a lot of people. I mean, how do you juggle and still stay grounded?
You just got to have good people around you, man. Like we've all dealt with toxic people in our life, and it's going to happen. There's someone else will gravitate into your life and your universe that's probably not the right fit, but you just have to make conscious choices around, and you got to make them quickly too, around who's right for your tribe vibe and who's not. And if they're not right, get them out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I'm 42 now, so I learned pretty quickly. I've seen a lot in the last 10, 15 years of my business. You can achieve so much in life by yourself, but you can achieve a shitload more with the right people around you. You're one of them, obviously, my circle of influence.
Yeah.
Marco, who will be coming on a future podcast here on the couch, Tony as well.
Yeah.
But I've learned over time, it's not about quantity and the numbers of people you have in your friendship group of circle of influence. The smaller it is, the tighter it is, the better it is, and the more impact it's going to have on your life.
Yeah.
So for me, that's really how I've been able to remain grounded. And again, people that hold me accountable, what's right, what's wrong. And you've been a great example of that, of a recent event that we all know I didn't attend, and that was the right decision. And hearing that from you means a lot to me, because that's what this is about. Is we can list, we can sell, we can drum up business, but it's the journey of sharing accountability and the responsibility and calling what's right and wrong out when it's right to call it out too, though. So your sphere of influence is a massive thing for me.
Like the cliche saying goes, the 5 people closest around to you makes you who you are.
Spot on.
If you're around 5 pieces of shit, you're the next piece of shit as well.
Yeah.
So
shit attracts shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And shit attracts gravitates to shit, right? So if you're stuck, if you're finding it difficult wherever you are in life and business, first thing I do is look at what's around you and who's around you.
Yeah.
That's probably having a good influence of where you're at and where you're not at.
Do you know, it's funny you say that, Chris, because looking back on my life now, when I was surrounded by not the right people, I was doing the incorrect things, and I wasn't really getting that far in life. Actually, I was getting worse in life.
We've all been there. You're going backwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seems good at the time, but you're not going anywhere. You're going backwards.
Yeah, especially when they're influenced by, illicit things. But now that I've been able to get the right tribe around me, I've picked up my life in a very positive aspect. So, yeah, it's good that you mentioned that. In saying that, 10 years from now, if your kids are watching this podcast, what's some sort of small message you want to leave for them?
It all comes back down to get the right people around you, kids, and take them on the journey with you. The journey is better shared with others around you than trying to go the journey solo and on your own.
Yeah.
So for me, right now where I'm at, business is sustainable.
Yeah.
But helping other people to grow and lift their life up and their business up and doing it together side by side, trust me, strength in numbers, it becomes easier. So for me, it's about help empower others.
Yeah.
And, help others get everything they want, and you'll get everything that you want.
Yeah, cool. Now, Before we move into segment 2 of this podcast, I want to go back quickly because I think this is a good story. I know about this story, but I think this is a good story to share because you recently purchased a new boat,
Yeah.
a really big boat. And I tell you what,
There's always bigger. We can always have bigger.
guys, this boat's so big it makes his Toyota look like a Jimny. That's how big
The
it is.
Land Cruiser, yeah. Little Suzuki Jimny now.
I haven't seen it in person yet, but I got to see it. But you know, when you were driving up, because you had to drive all the way up to Queensland to go pick this boat up.
Correct, yeah.
You came across some small challenges and all those bits and pieces. I want to know a little bit about that and share to the viewers like what exactly happened, you know?
Well, there's a bit of a story that led me to this new boat where we nearly sunk out at Neptune Islands. And for any of those that know South Australian waters,
This is the boat previously to this one.
yeah, that's what influenced me to buy this one.
Yeah.
Neptune Islands is where they take the great white shark cage diving people, right? So I was probably 15 k's out from that when I
crazy.
Down. Fortunately, thank the mighty Lord who looked over us, got us back to Wedge Island, and we got back onto mainland.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I had been looking for a new boat for many, many months. I'm after a particular boat which is really unique. When it comes up, it moves within a day or two.
Yeah.
Found this boat an opportunity, kind of bought it off market off a fella, got to Queensland. The guy dropped it on me that he wanted half the money up front, cash. I was like, good luck, mate. It's hard enough to get $5,000 out of the bank,
Absolutely,
let alone half of what's a 6-figure purchase.
Yeah.
So anyway, we tried to make it work, and the bank blocked us because they said we don't hold that money. So then we had to order the money in. So when we were meant to leave that day, we had to wait till the next day till the armor guard truck could come and deliver the cash. This was on a Friday, so we're hoping, because if it didn't come Friday, I'm stuck in Queensland until over the weekend, until hopefully it delivers it Monday.
Yeah.
But the armor guard truck was there 10 o'clock on the Friday, got the cash out. Deal nearly fell over because we went to settle the remainder of the deal. There was an encumbrance on the trailer. Tried to renegotiate with the seller. About 4:30 in the afternoon, he removed the encumbrance, settled the deal. The remaining balance of the funds that were being transferred didn't hit his account. So at that point, 6:30 at night, he's like, money hasn't landed in my account. You're not grabbing the boat. I'm like, how do I even know this guy is telling the truth if the money's in the account or not? How do I know if I've been fleeced here?
Yeah.
And here I'm with a massive bag full of money for the remaining balance, the other 50%. And then that same night, the brakes the brakes went on my Land Cruiser, so I had to get those replaced on Saturday morning. And then, fortunately, that morning the money went through in his account, and everything went through in the end. But it was like 72 hours, and I had my old man with me as well, who's like stressing out to the max.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty close to we thought we were being fleeced at nearly a 6-figure sum in money. So it was
in a state where you're sort of like by yourself.
We thought we were driving back home without a boat, mate.
Yeah.
So, we had to, we managed to get the brakes and the rotors fixed on the car early that Saturday morning. Money went through in his account. The guy honoured it, met us at the place, hooked on the boat, did a handover. Guy turned out to be a real genuine guy, but with everything that's going on with money being fleeced, phishing scams and cybercrimes these days, I'm like, shit, don't tell me I'm one of these statistics. But it all happened. We've done 2 trips in the boat, and it's been amazing. And if anything, I ummed and ahed for many, many months to spend this sort of money because it was 6 figures, right? Like some people see it as a deposit for a house today. But, at 42, I'm like, I've got 10 years to probably enjoy this before I get to that age, and my kids are at that age where I can't be as physically, able as I am with such a big boat to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Again, this comes back to time, man. Like, I could have used that money in other areas, most certainly. But at the same token, I'm a believer. I don't want to look back when I'm 55 going, geez, I wish I had that 10 years back again and bought that boat to create all those memories with my mates and my kids and to do all those adventures out in the water that I should. Too late.
Yeah.
Like, that time's gone. Can't claim it back. And, what was a real testament is one of our guys who joined us probably 12 months ago sent me a message just as recently as yesterday. He's ordered a brand new boat, delivered in February.
Yeah, wow.
We're talking over $200,000 in a boat.
Wow.
And in his words were, I would never have been able to do this if it wasn't for the vehicle that I'm now in, eXp Realty. And we were talking last night, and I said, how long did you and ah for? He's like, about this long. I said, shit, man, I was a lot longer than that, but we procrastinate so much that sometimes we just forget about what's actually important. Get out there, enjoy yourself, live your life, and make the most of the time you got.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be on deathbed looking back going, I should have bought that boat back all that time ago. Too late, man.
Yeah.
That time's gone. The window's missed.
Well, as they say, time is the most precious commodity. So
100%.
And you're absolutely using the time really well. And, what's the point of living life if you don't enjoy some of it, the fruits of it that it has to give?
Money's replaceable.
Yeah.
Time isn't.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Black and white, man.
You can always make more money, but you can't make more time either.
You can replace that.
Yeah.
Time you can't. Like I can't get back 5 minutes ago in this podcast. I definitely can't get back yesterday. And all I'm trying to do is influence tomorrow.
Yeah. That's really good saying. I might have that plaqued up right here.
Chris's little mantra.
Well, I was actually going to take a break for segment 2 to ask if you need a drink, but you do have a drink.
All good,
so
mate.
you're all good. We're going to go straight into it, guys. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am as well. Chris Janzon in the hot seat right now as well. So, look, now, fast forward to now, I want to talk a little bit about your real estate career.
Yep.
But I want to go back first because what's important to know is how you got into this industry and what was life prior to that.
So prior to real estate, pretty much I worked in the corporate sector, call centres from Telstra, Big Pond, did a bit of time at Elders, building out their NBN call centre as well, retention of clients wanting to leave Big Pond Internet. So a lot of call centre work. Back in my early days, it was a lot of physical labour work.
Yeah.
From running my dad's lawn mowing and landscaping business, I did a bit of civil works, pipe laying. That showed me some interesting stuff of what happens in the civil world. So I've done a variety of hands-on work and corporate office-based work before real estate.
Yeah. And now that you got into real estate, because we all have that sort of 2-year gap where you're in there and you're trying your best to make it, because the first 2 to 3 years, if you can breach that gap, then you're in.
Hell.
Yeah, it's hell.
It's a war out there in those first 3 years.
And when you started, the pay was really, really low.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I started, I had a good friend at the time that was in the industry and did really well. We're talking about 2009 here.
Yeah.
And he
just after GFC?
No, just before the GFC, or just as it started, actually. Yeah. But he approached me and said, you're good with people, why don't you get into real estate? I'm like, I'm earning about 60 grand a year in the call centre back then, good money.
Yeah.
On a roster type system. I said, look, I'll have a meeting with your principal, see where we land. He's like, cool. Met with the principal, got along with him that owned the local Harcourts franchise in Salisbury at the time. We got along well, shook hands. Next day I get an email, bing, letter of offer, traineeship role, $27,843 per annum. I was like, let's do this. I'm going to commit. But I was all in. Yeah. So I was walking away from a 62 grand job, including super at the time, obviously, to earn $27,843 per annum. Massive pay cut.
Massive pay cut, yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'm the type of person when I do something, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm not half in. I'm not dipping the toe. I'm like, I'm doing this. So I scaled back all my expenses. I went and boarded with my mate. I was paying him $50 a week in board. I had a Honda Prelude car loan at the time.
Honda
the
Prelude.
Old pop-up lights,
yeah.
the 2-door. It was a beast, that thing. So, between board, mobile phone, fuel, paying my card, payments, registration, all that, I worked out at the end of the fortnight when I got paid, I had $200 a fortnight to live off, $100 a week. Now, you can imagine back then I would have been, late 20s, mid to late 20s. I was a single guy at the time, trying to date and meet a girl. You don't get much change if you go on a date for a dinner and a drink or two from $100 these days.
Nah.
And some.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's challenging to meet someone, because I only got $200 for the whole fortnight to last.
Yeah.
To the next payday. So there's a lot of sacrifice and compromise, but as I said, I was all in. So I did a 2-year traineeship at RESA. Ray Brincat, who was my trainer at the time, a great guy in the industry, still a Harcourts trainer to this day. Got in a lot of trouble with him because the traineeship back then was you had to go and do your 2 weeks of legal compliance, which I did.
Yeah.
And then once you did your 2 weeks of legal compliance, you could go operate out there, but under direct supervision.
Ah, yes.
I didn't do that. I just went out there and I hunted and I listed and I sold. And, I probably could say this now, but I didn't have any supervision. My boss just let me go. And then what happened is I started building momentum pretty quickly. And the way that I did it is some of the guys that were in the office, they were a bit fatigued getting to a stage in their career and life. They were over it. So I used to say to them, guys, Wayne, Robert, you want the weekend off? Why? I was like, I'll do your opens, man. Take the weekend off. What do you want for it? Nothing. Zero. Just what I'll do is I'll do the open. I'll let you know what happens at the open. You can deal with your vendor. I'll take care of the buyers. I'll bring you the offers. Don't pay me a dime. But the only kicker is that I want all the data, all the opportunities, all the people I meet, any appraisal opportunities, property management, finance opportunities. That's mine. They're like, how good's this kid? He's going to work for me this weekend. I don't have to pay him a cent.
Free sales associate.
100%. Yeah. Right? So for you aspiring as sales associates, I mean, a lot of people come into this industry about treating it like it's a job. What are you going to give me? How much are you going to pay me? Man, that's how I started. It wasn't about the 27 grand. I was at the rate of how quickly can I double, triple this 27 grand so I don't need that.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how I built my business in those early stages. Now, it got to the 2-year mark. I hadn't finished my traineeship. I was in trouble. And my principal tapped me on the shoulder. He goes, you got to take 2 weeks annual leave because if you don't go back to RESA and finish your traineeship is ripped up. So, because I'd been focused on listing and selling so much in those first 2 years, I didn't bother going back to class, did I?
Yeah, yeah.
Because, what you learn in theory and how it is in the real world are two different things.
You probably learned a lot more.
Correct. So, yeah, I had to go back to RESA, had to spend 2 weeks there full time, get signed off, and then became Cert 4.
Yeah, wow. That's very interesting. Very different to how they run it now. Now you can just go online and ChatGPT.
Yeah. Not that we endorse that or encourage it, but yes, it's
a different world.
It's a lot easier these days, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
Can you remember one of your toughest deals or most powerful client moments?
Well, we're going through one at the moment. I mean, with that a property that's pretty close to us. Yeah, my toughest deal. We might have to come back to that question. I might need a little bit of time to think about that.
Yeah, have a think about it. It's all good. It's a lot of people, they say, don't get emotionally invested into each sale, but we do.
Yeah.
We obviously, we care about our clients, and if you're a real estate agent that don't care about your clients, you maybe need to check on your values, but...
Yeah, I've got one, actually. I've got one. So we're dealing with a client that was involved in a massive legal matter that was highly publicised. With respect to a lady who passed away on a cruise ship.
Yeah, wow.
And we were selling his home at the time, and his name was everywhere in the media. And it turned out that he wasn't convicted as far as I'm aware, and we treated him no differently because I wasn't really watching the news at that time. But it was difficult because when people had seen the paperwork, and there was a lot of media hype around that name at that time. I mean, we're talking a loss of a life and, these allegations or possible charges of murder of a certain degree.
Yeah, wow.
On this cruise ship, it made it very challenging because we had a client that absolutely felt they were innocent and they were just probably in the wrong place at the wrong time, and we were trying to support them because, as we know, this game's mental as much as it is about the property.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're helping them through that. We're trying to keep buyers on side. So that definitely was a very publicised sale at the time because of the individual that was embroiled in it we were selling for and representing at that time. So that was challenging. We had a number of contracts fall over for that reason that we had to pick up. And then there's the most recent one. We're dealing with a client who, a great guy, dealt with him many times over, and we're trying to do a subject sale and selling at the same time, and it's a real pressure cooker situation. And we had a buy on his property that came out of left field, blindsided, and called off on us unannounced. And that's been a domino effect that's affected his family and the next family and the flow-on effect. And this is what people need to realise is house is important, right? It's where we find peace and comfort. But it's the people that live in it and their lives and what the effect is of that if someone does call off like they did in this instance, what that domino effect is. And, we're talking about people trying to get into their homes end of November, getting ready for December. They've already planned for Christmas at that new home and destination. So that's a real raw motion.
All right, just quickly, our camera turned off. So, we
promise progress, not perfection.
We're filming in summer. That's the reason why. So we have a lot of overheating issues with that. So forgive us. But anyway, we're going on back to the other question anyway. because we're going to something really, really important there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask this one so the viewers can understand, because you were an agent
Yep.
and you were listing and selling,
Yep.
how did you get into more of a leadership position in your career?
So look, prior to where I'm at right now, I was a sales agent, then followed the normal traditional route where you go, oh, I want more than just commission. Surely this isn't it. Is this all? This is it? Like chasing the next 60, 90-day payment? I want more. Like I want to build something. I want legacy. I want equity. So I followed the traditional route, and that is where you go up to the boss and say, hey, mate, I want in.
Yeah.
What's it take? Sure, you can have in. Bring me the bag full of cash
What
and
year
money.
was this quickly, sorry?
That was about 2016, 2017.
Yep. So that wasn't, obviously they didn't have models like this at the moment. That's why you went through the...
No, so 2009 I started in a franchise. I've only ever moved my business once, from franchise to where I'm at now. But again, I went through the natural progression of, associate, buyer's agent, trainee, sweat, blood and tears, doing all the work for somebody else. Then I became well done, you've made it, you've been here 3 years, your own pledged agent.
Yeah.
Took out Rookie of the Year, won many quarterly awards, got lots of certificates and glass trophies to prove it, which none of them I have to this day because they just are clutter.
Yeah.
And it got to about 2015, I was like, there's got to be more to it than this. Like, I don't want to do this until I'm 70, just chasing a commission check every 30, 60, 90 days. So, approached the business owner and said, look, I want in. So they said, sure, bring the capital. So the natural way to buy into a business or to start a business is you bring the duffel bag with cash in it.
How much is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, you need 6 figures.
6 figures, guys.
You need 6 figures.
So if you're thinking about, if you're currently working in a traditional model and you want to be a business owner, principal agent, 6 figures is the buy-in.
Correct. So I bought in, came up with the duffel bag, put all the ninnies and the money and all the pennies and pence on the line and $100 bills, drained the bank account and went all in, and became the director, the listing and selling principal. Yeah. Started a beautiful business from the ground up, took on another second franchise territory area, opened up a second office location, grew that business organically from the ground up from admin, PM to sales agent, had a great business, great people, great culture. And then, started growing the rent roll as well. Yeah. But to be honest, man, I was like, after about 2-3 years into it, I was like, this isn't sustainable. You can't run this way. Yeah. Like I'm wearing every hat under the sun and I'm doing everything 25% at the best of my ability because I'm over here in accounts, I'm over here in admin, I'm over here in finance, I'm over here in operations, I'm over here in PM. Oh yeah, that's right. I've still got to try and list and sell over here and I've got those clients. Then I've got agents who want me to mentor, train, coach, support them and be my associates. And it was just like, it physically got to the point I was like, I was doing more work and getting less return. I was doing more 80, 100-hour weeks and I was earning less.
So in that situation, it was almost better if you just stayed an agent then.
I was making more.
Yeah.
I was making more. My wife will attest to this. There was a time there that we were directors, business owners, selling principals that we had $250 to our name to the next commission check came in.
Wow.
And we were a business owner, walking in the business going, beat the drum to the business owner. There's principals here, the directors here. I had $250 in my account, man, because we were putting it all in. We were grinding it out. I was getting less return. And this is the reality of certain models. The line between profit and pain is so lean. Yeah. It is so lean because of high overheads, high operative costs, redundant expenses. And it just got to a point I was like, I actually don't like this. I actually started resenting what I was doing. Yeah. But I still had to rock up every day and, be the business owner leading by example and being in the environment of people, some I loved being around and they were great. They were good energy, good vibration. Other people, I couldn't care if I ever seen them again. They were that toxic people that you just don't need in that circle of yours. But I still had to have them there because they're on my payroll check, my payroll bill. So
you're rocking up to work, not wanting to be there
100%.
Because of the people who were on your payroll.
Yep.
It's like a fabricated relationship.
Bullshit.
It's not real.
It's a facade.
Yeah.
It's a facade. And I guarantee you, if there's any business owners watching this, hopefully this resonates with you because I'm sure there's many of you out there to this day that are rocking up today working, grinding, putting everything on the line, and there's people in your environment, your ecosystem, you do not want to be around them. And look, if you look yourself in the mirror and say, no, that's not the case, so I reckon you're bullshitting yourself.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you're the at the top of the tree that controls that pyramid,
Yeah.
there's going to be people gravitating to that pyramid of yours that you don't want to be around. You don't want them in that scheme of yours, but you can't because you're trying to make money off them.
Yeah. That's the reality of the situation.
So you want them there, you don't like them, but you're trying to be their friend, have them on your payroll bill, because the end goal is you're just trying to make money off them.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying that the relationship is never genuine then, because, you know, as an agent, you always want more from the principal.
Correct.
And we don't, as an agent, you would never really understand the stresses of a principal. But now, hearing that, you can understand why agents are sometimes negative and toxic, because they have so many things to worry about all the time. On top of that, you got agents beating their chest, wanting more, going, well, mate, you don't even pay for the lights and all those bits and pieces.
Well, you know, that was a conversation I always got approached by. You know, every agent wanted a different deal from the next agent they work next to in the same environment. You know, I'm worth more because I turn over more. I'm worth more because I write more. But, you know, I get it as a principal, it's hard to give back to your agents, particularly if your margin between profit and pain is somewhere between 6 and 13%.
Yeah.
When an agent comes to you and says, I want an extra 10%, okay, well, that leaves me 3% potential margin off you. And then that agent starts writing more and says, I now want a support person, so cover half their wage.
Yeah.
Where does 3% is not going to cover that wage?
Yeah. Yeah.
So where's the money come from?
It's very interesting. And, you know, again, most of these agents and principal are actually good people.
100%. Like, I feel for principals out there right now, but a lot of businesses are for a lot of the business owners, they're making less than their agents. Yeah. And the whole point of us going into business is to set yourself up with financial freedom, wealth, equity. Really, the only intent and purpose of being a principal right now in a traditional model is your rent roll. That's it. That's the only pillar you've got to lean on.
Yeah.
The sales business isn't worth any value, right? When you sell something, there's no value in that.
Yeah.
So the sad reality is there's a lot of business owners, unless they're out there listing and selling on the tools, they're making less than their agents. So, and the whole reason we get into business is to earn more, have more, keep more, and have more freedom financially and with wealth.
So that model solely relies, I'm talking about the traditional model here.
Yeah.
That model solely relies on more agents coming on board and you know, turning over the business for
Correct.
them. And then those agents will then employ sales associates. And,
correct.
Well, you're right. It's kind of is like a pyramid, isn't it?
Well, it's rinse and repeat. And don't get me wrong, there's some incredible traditional business out there that are massive and doing massive numbers and huge things. But a lot of those business owners aren't on the tools though.
Yeah.
They're working in their business. They're working on their business, not in their business. Yeah. But a lot of these independent operators that are in a traditional model that are mums and dads setups in the local corner shop that have 5, 6, 8, 10 agents, it's very hard for them to get off the tools, not list and sell, because that probably produces most of their income, more so than what the business gives back, with how much they give back out to their business, their agents, and the operative costs as well. So I feel for principals, man. I've been there, I've done it, I've had dark days, I've worked harder and more hours for less.
Yeah.
So, you know, it got to the last 2 years, I was like, there's got to be something better than this. This isn't right. I was nearing my 40th birthday and I'm like, if I keep going at this rate, this isn't sustainable. Probably going to have a cardiac arrest by the time I'm 50. Definitely going to be divorced before that happens at this rate. So I had to make a conscious choice. And the reality was, when I made the decision to move, people really frowned upon it, and people even closest to me, even my family, questioned me about it.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Well, what do they say?
From the outside in, it looked like I had everything. Big business, 2 offices, lots of staff, lots of turnover, lots of awards, you know, lots of people around me. But on the inside, I was suffering silently. I wasn't happy. I didn't feel my authentic self. Probably didn't feel genuine to those around me. And I didn't feel those that I didn't want in my circle weren't genuine to me too, though. But I couldn't control that because You're the boss. They're your people. You got to treat them right. You got to be there for them and rock up and show up and lead by example. So from my family's perspective, they were like, "You're insane. You're nearly 40. You've built this big business. You put so much time and effort and energy into it." But I knew deep down, man, whatever I did, if I walked away from that, I knew I could replicate it in a better way again.
Yeah.
Because I believe in myself more so than anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, when I walked away from it and sold out, my business partners at the time were surprised. My family were shocked at the time. There was a lot of doubt. There was a lot of reservation. People speculated. People doubted. People even wanted me to fail.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, there's always going to be people who want you to fail, especially it's worse when it comes from the ones that are closest to you, hey?
That's sometimes where it most comes from.
Yeah. They secretly...
Small poppy syndrome, man. They're happy to ride on your curtain tails, but when you're doing your own thing, you want to go your own direction, they'll go against you pretty quickly.
So always do good, but never better than me.
Do good, just not better than me, sir. Yeah.
Hate that.
Yeah.
And then so what? After you gave that up, that whole role, then you discovered eXp Realty, or?
Yeah. So I just went on this journey and I looked at everything that was out there, not just locally, nationally, but globally.
Yeah.
And I just realized the more that I exposed myself to alternative options, how far behind we were in redundant systems and structures and models and the way we did traditional transactional real estate.
Yeah.
And I've seen this surgence happening in the US that we had not seen here before with online tech, cloud-based, and I thought, shit, I want to be part of that. I don't want to be riding the wave after the fact. I want to be riding the wave at the beginning because I love innovation. I love evolution. I thrive in change. A lot of people say to me, oh, change, it's too much.
Yeah.
Fuck, change is inevitable, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
In life and business, it's just how you adapt to it, right? It's going to happen, whether it's today, in a month's time, or a year's time. Change is going to happen. Embrace it, enjoy it, relish it, because it's an opportunity that gets you into that next phase and stage in your business.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of research and came across eXp Realty. And I always felt where I came from, and you could attest to this and probably relate to it, that I loved real estate, but I just felt the vehicle I was in, there was this real disconnect. Like I was doing all this work and I felt like I was running through mud.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Like, God, this is great. I love it. When I bring the deal together, when I list the property, it's all good. But then there's all this mud running stuff that happens in between that, that expense has come off and that deductions happen and I'm giving that percentage over there. And, and you just, this hamster in the wheel, as Marco would say. I love when he...
He's got the best sayings.
The hamster in the wheel. That's how I felt though, man, even as the business owner. So I thought going as the sales agent in the traditional model to then becoming the business owner, I wouldn't be that hamster in the wheel. Well, now it felt like the hamster in the wheel that was on steroids that had to run faster as the business owner because there was more expectations, more people reliant on me, and there was high pressure.
Hectic.
So it was like, you're still that hamster in the wheel.
Yeah.
Didn't change for me.
It's funny you say that because when I first got into real estate as a sales associate, now I started, I can't even remember when I started, 5 years ago. What's that, 2020?
Yeah.
Just before COVID I started,
Yep.
So yeah. But prior to that, I figured that to get a job, because to get a job in real estate, you got to go and apply, right? And I wanted to be like a standout figure. So I studied for a good year about the industry, studied how to prospect, how to make cold calls.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, there wasn't really anyone digitally online from Australia teaching real estate.
Yep.
So all I could get was the information from America, all the American guys, because they're so far ahead of us,
10 years.
So far ahead of us.
Night and day.
Back then, I was listening to a prominent real estate agent who's now in eXp Realty. His name is Ricky Carruth.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, he was in Remax. eXp Realty didn't fully blow up yet, and he was a Remax agent.
Yeah.
But even with the Remax system, right, it was completely different to Australia, And when I got into real estate, they explained to me, you got to be a sales associate for 2 years. And I just couldn't, I couldn't.
We're going to pay this wage.
I'm like, what?
And you capped at that.
Yeah.
And you're going to do everything that I tell you to do.
Yeah.
As I say, you have to do it.
I'm like, sorry, Mr. Principal, but I came here to be an agent.
Yeah. But no, not yet. Stay under the wing.
Yeah, that's
Stay under the guard.
This is what they physically said. They said to me, back then I was working with Marco as a sales associate. They said, you have to build his business up before you can build your business. I said, I love Marco, but sorry, I got my own family.
Yeah.
Like I want to build my own business up. And they wanted me to stay as a sales associate for the next 2 years, and I couldn't understand why. Because my idea behind real estate was you're a business within a business, and you always represent that brand.
That's bullshit. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, and
you're just a person in a business.
Yeah, the reality is, as a sales agent who's not with their own company structure and all these bits and pieces, you're not. You're just an employee. And that's when I started to like go, aha, what's going on? And I started to question the norm. But when I did question the norm, they were like, no, this is how we do things in Australia. I'm like, that's fine, but when do I get to build my own business? And that's part of the reason when I started seeing you guys. Guys, just so you know, I added Chris on Facebook from that time when I said that he sold a property to my brother. And I could always see him and Bjorn always going fishing, both in their own boats, both happy as. I was in real estate.
Hating it.
Right? There was a point in my life and career, and we'll get into this in another episode, but, you know, there was a point in time when I was going to walk away and leave it and go just work a normal job, because I figured if I'm going to stay here working, earning like 50 grand a year, I could do the same thing with less stress as a
Clock on, clock off.
Yeah, like a 9 to 5 in a warehouse driving a forklift.
Leave the work at work.
Yeah, and I could just let it go. But, you know, we're so blessed to have eXp Realty, honestly. And what I want to get back to is the fact that there was a model that came over that was a little bit different to the norm. It's opened so many doors in my life, honestly. Yeah. And
Same. I think, you know, talking to a lot of agents right now, and not to bag any model, there's a right fit, right model for the right person, right? And you got to find your model, your vehicle, your tribe. We found ours. But, you know, talking about sales associates, like there's a chap I'm talking to who's been in the game 6 coming on 7 years now. He's still sales associate to performing agents in his office. And I'm like, man, when are you going to be allowed to fly free? Like, you must be like an eagle just trapped in that cage of yours. The phoenix in the cage. Like, when's the phoenix coming out of the cage? You know, so I think it's really important that you find the right vehicle. And as I talk to more and more agents, you've got to ask yourself this question: how many life-changing experience can you account for in the vehicle, the environment that you're in around you right now, that you've seen firsthand, that should be a testament that that is the right vehicle, network, model, brand, or opportunity that's genuinely changing people's lives, right? And where we're at today, I hear it so many times. You've said it today. Yesterday, I was talking to one of the gentlemen who I won't mention his name, that's joined us in the last 12 months. He's bought that $200,000 boat that he could never have done. And this is a gentleman that's been in the game 30 years.
Yeah, wow.
He's worked the biggest brands across the country, the biggest independent brands in our state. Yet he's coming to me, messaging me saying, this has changed my life with cash flow, with savings, what I can buy, what I can invest in. And so for me, model and flag aside, a true testament to any vehicle, model, brand, network opportunity is how many people are saying that to you on a weekly, daily, monthly, quarterly, or yearly basis. Now, I hear it many times throughout the months.
Yeah.
So when I hear that, I'm like, I'm in the right place, because this is genuinely actually having an impact on someone's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas where I came from, people dreaded rocking up and having to punch the alarm code in to open the office up to go to that desk to work the job that's ultimately someone else's office and business. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, if you just want to go to work and earn a check, if you're happy doing that, cool. But if there's not positive impact and influence in that environment that's genuinely changing that person's life that's next to you, behind you, sits in front of you, maybe there's something else out there that you can be part of that environment where it's genuinely changing and impacting people's lives around you.
That's great, mate. Honestly.
Well, that's where I'm at, man, because for me, we can list, we can sell, we can do appraisals, we can do building and pest inspections, we can run opens. But when you hear somebody say, mate, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought I owned as many properties as I do to this day. Yeah. And we're going to get to your story. Never in my wildest dreams would I think or thought that I would be in a position to buy a $200,000+ boat. We're talking 3 times the value of what many people, agents in the industry are driving around in a vehicle as a boat. And it's not about the materialistic shit, but that stuff does have impact in people's lives. I mean, that, you know, for you, you know why you're getting up every day, because of your portfolio and your investments and what you're doing. The other individual, he's got that big boat, lavish boat that's coming in February. He's working, he's striving. That's what gets us out of bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The positive impact and influence that it's having on our lives. You know what it's all about? It's not about the commission splits. It's not about the flashy branding and the marketing. It's not about loving kumbaya, the people around you in your office and your boss and, I've got a good boss. It's about the impact and the influence that it's genuinely having in that person's life that makes them get up every day and go, shit, I'm in the right place because I'm now afforded this position that I'm in that's giving me this stuff that I'm working towards.
It's funny you say that because I'm trying to word this correctly, yeah? The money is good. The money is amazing, okay? With eXp, the money is amazing. Let's call a spade a spade. But me personally, the relationship is more important.
100%, 1,000%.
If we have this relationship even at a traditional franchise model, right? Oh, sorry, traditional model.
You'd stay.
I'd stay.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, you can never have genuine relationship when you're on someone's payroll.
Yeah. Or you're competing against the same data.
Yeah, if you're competing against the same person, yeah.
You're competing for the same listing.
So that's what I mean. Like, I think the bonus is the money side of things, yeah? But honestly, the relationship, the camaraderie, because I'm not on your payroll, you're not on mine, and Marco's not on my payroll, all the other agents aren't on each other's payroll. We just genuinely want to see each other succeed.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be cliche. I'm not brainwashing anyone or anything like that. Genuinely, right, if you want to see some real camaraderie, I'd highly recommend you at least check it out.
The boss wants to see you succeed, absolutely. I mean, I wanted to see my people succeed.
Yeah, of course, because they're making money.
If they're making an extra 200 grand this year and I'm getting 40% extra on that 200 grand, guess what? I'm making more money too, right? But in this situation, it's different. Like whether I earn more or less this year, it doesn't affect you. But if we collaborate together and I cut you in on deals or share with you some revenue off of transactions because of the highly advantageous commission splits we're on, then it's a win-win for you and I.
Yeah.
So.
And just in saying that too, just in case there's people out there watching this podcast who don't
hope so.
I hope so. Just quickly, like for the ones who are looking into the model, can you just give a very brief explanation of how it all works?
So it's a model that's purely built for the entrepreneurial agent. So if you truly find, inspiration in freedom, autonomy, flexibility, the ability to run your business your way, not be told when to start, when to finish, when you can have a break, take time off, what time you got to start, what time you got to finish. This is a great model for the entrepreneurial agent. If you like the water cooler conversations in the office on Monday mornings, or you like to be told when to start, when to finish, when you can take your leave, it's probably not the right fit. But if you love technology, you love innovation, evolution, you love being at the forefront of innovative change, this is the place to be. Yeah. And I was watching this story with Mark Zuckerberg the other day, and he said about a lot of people think that the first thing I ever built was Facebook, and he's like, it wasn't. I built school training platforms and some games online and some libraries and apps and all of this stuff. But he goes, I couldn't get 1 million people to an event if I tried before Facebook. I couldn't build a dam to house or hold water if I tried. But one thing that I always did is I continued to try, but I had lots of failure to get me to where I am today. Yeah. And so for me, that's the spirit of real estate. You could stay where you are and be complacent and represent somebody else and work for somebody else. And if that's you, that's the fit for you, cool. We wish you well. Good luck. You're going to have a great life serving somebody else. But if you purely want to serve yourself, your family, your legacy, and you want to build something that's genuinely yours, we might be, a good option to be on your shopping list. Yeah. I'm not going to go in and sell the model. People know who we are now. We're cloud-based, we're global. If you want to leverage a local presence and take it to national and global presence, we've got luxury, we've got commercial, we've got property management, we've got residential sales. We cover every aspect of real estate across the globe right now. We're in 27 countries. We're nearing 90,000 agents globally. Yep. We've just announced at our eXpCon we're launching in 3 more countries. That'll take us to 30. Our big goal is to be in 50 countries by 2030 and 100,000 agents collaborating openly without any restrictions, borderless across the globe. Yeah.
And I'm just going to say quickly too, if you want more information, we're going to drop it in the description below. So if you want to know more about us, do some research, absolutely fine. I just want to go back quickly because as you're talking about that, I had a funny story come in my head. So it's a funny story where there's a man, he's heavily religious, he's Christian, and he's sitting on top of the roof of his house, and there's a big flood. And then a guy comes back with a boat and he goes, "Hey mate, you need some help?" And he goes, "No, I'm a Christian, God's going to help me." Right? And he goes, "Okay, cool." Goes away.
Yep.
Then another boat comes by. He goes, "Hey mate, do you need help?" He goes, "Nah, it's all good, God's going to help me." Then what happens? The flood rises, he dies. But he goes to heaven. And he goes, "God, what happened? You were meant to save me." He goes, "Mate, I sent 2 boats."
That's a great story. It's so true. And, you know, Glenn Sanford, our CEO and founder, who's a visionary, and I really, you know, we all need someone to look up to in life. I definitely look up to him. Very humble, down-to-earth man, wealthy in so many ways.
Oh, absolutely.
But he says to us that opportunities are never missed. They're just passed on to the next person that didn't look at the opportunity in front of them.
Yeah, wow.
I was like, that's so true. We probably have all passed up so many opportunities in life because of fear and doubt and uncertainty, and it's probably been passed on to somebody else that just picked it up, ran with it, and focused on progress over perfection and made it work. And it's so true. You know, you've just got to look at God's always there, but the 2 opportunities were before him.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say if you have the opportunity, might as well at least take a look, right?
Say yes more than no.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's be real here. All right. We're going to get to the nitty gritties now. What do you think's broken about a traditional model?
How much more time have we got? Having lived it, breathed it, and I've now seen both sides of the fence. So I can say this with conviction because I've been in a traditional environment from a trainee working in the PM department, seeing the administration associate, buyer's agent to selling agent to principal and director, to now seeing the new era way. This whole preaching of, yeah, you're a business in a business is just a lie. And if anyone says that to you and you're in that environment, they're just telling you that to tow you along, to toe the line with you. Because the reality is the true test of any relationship is not how it is now or on the way in, it's on the way out.
Yep.
And if you were to ever leave for whatever reason, what are you leaving with? And that'll be the true sign. If that model is right, that supports, empowers, and endorses the agent that's doing all the work at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Or if it's favouring the other party, which is generally the principal and the business owner, which, don't get me wrong, they are there paying the bills, wearing all the overheads and the risk, but it all comes back to, are you really a business within a business? Because someone's pushing your pay button.
Yeah.
And you're not paying the suppliers and you're not wearing all the risk that comes within that. Sure, you might have some flexibility if you're a performing agent to start when you want and finish when you want because you're writing the numbers so the boss is happy. But I cringe when I hear that whole, oh, I'm a business within a business or you're a business within a business. It's not true.
Yeah.
So for me, the pyramid scheme is definitely one way, and it's that environment where the agents are doing all the lifting, the heavy work and paying up.
Yeah.
Whereas it should be the other way around. If you look at the funnel, in the traditional environment, the agents are down here.
Yeah.
They're prospecting, they're generating the work, they're bringing the opportunities, they're doing the opens, the building inspections, the appraisals, all the hours, weeknights, weekdays, weekends, all of that. Yet when they bring it all together, where does the money flow?
Up.
Should it not come down? Should it not be, this way? And it's the agent where the money's funneling down to them, rightfully so, where they keep more, earn more.
Be more, live more.
And be more, yeah.
Yeah. So interesting. I mean, like going back onto, Rich Dad, Poor Dad's cash flow quadrant.
Yeah, let's go.
He talks about like how people who are employees,
yep,
they just have a different mindset to the people who are business and entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Whether you're working for profits or you're trading your time for dollar, you're never going to get far ahead trying to trade your time for dollar.
No.
And it's so interesting because when people say they're a business within a business, then I've got a few questions for them. Like, do you run your own company structure? Do you own your database is another important one too. Are you on a PAYG model or, are you receiving your commissions up front? All these other bits and pieces that we've got to ask. And again, like I said, most importantly, do you even own your database? Can you leave away? Can you walk away with it?
Yeah, I think where we're at these days, whatever you're doing in any industry, it's income diversification. Like, I hate to tell you, but I think if you're reliant on one income for the next 40 years and a pension at the end of that at $1,100 a fortnight
No.
at today's living costs, you're not going to survive, whether you retire in 20, 30, 40 years, right? So for me, it's all about, you can go to work, you can earn a commission. We know that, right? And that's probably going to keep you in survival mode for the next 90 days.
Yeah.
But what happens if you can't do that? And what happens post 90 days if you can't do that? Where have you diversified? Where have you created additional pillars of wealth outside of your commission transactional treadmill to sustain a lifestyle that you're pretty accustomed to right now, that in 10, 15, 20 years time, if you want to slow down, relax, maybe not list and sell at the pace that you're doing or retire, where are these other income streams going to come from? Now, if you work in most traditional environments, you've got two income streams for life. Commission. Now that's either make it or break it in the next 90 days. As we know, what we do today influences what we earn in 90 days time, right? So many agents are just heavily invested in that, and that's where they get caught in that hamster wheel.
Yeah.
And the second one is superannuation. Well, we all pay ourselves superannuation.
Yeah.
Right. So they're the two streams that you've got. The leverage with our model is we have up to 5 laneways that build additional wealth and equity ownership outside of just earning the commissions for the next 90 days. So it's actually setting you up for long-term legacy, wealth creation, sustainability, and financial freedom, whether you list or sell or not, and whatever you might earn in the next 90 days or not.
I just want to quickly go to the pillars quickly because I want to share a true story, amazing story. All right. So as you know, with our model, you can build your own rent roll, and I've built up to about 25. Heading on to 30 because I'm quite a good client.
That's cool, man.
Bringing over.
And you're not hunting really?
No, I'm not hunting. No, I actually don't hunt for it at all.
Yeah.
So I think the average agent would prefer about 10 to 20 per year to their own agency. But anyways, I've got about 25 in my management. And the funny thing is, well, amazing thing I should say is, I was offered by a buyer to buy 10 of them.
Yeah.
I was offered $80,000. I couldn't believe just for 10. Like, if I ever needed to liquidate quickly, and that's just one pillar.
Yep.
Could you imagine if I had like 100?
Yep.
And some people I know, well, not some people, some companies I know got like 300, 400, maybe in the thousands.
Yeah, because their agents are feeding that. Though.
Yeah.
And the agent just gets the quick $500 a week.
But could you imagine, like, as an agent, and you build that rent roll up that you own?
Yeah.
And then let's say, for example, you needed to buy a property, need a sizable deposit to buy a property. You could easily just cash that in. It's 100%. Amazing. It's amazing how powerful a rent roll can build wealth for you.
Well, this is what we're talking about, diversification.
Yeah.
You know, if something happened to you or I today and we can't list and sell, what does that mean? We're not making money in the next 90 days. So where's the other pillars coming from?
Yeah.
What are the other cylinders that are firing here? And this is where a lot of agents undervalue their own self-worth in what they're doing in the industry, and they just look at it with rose, colored lenses of it's just about the next appraisal and listing and sale for me. That's a short-term view. There's so much abundance and opportunity that there's spin-off outside of that can help you create extra equity laneways of income and wealth creation outside of just the next one lane of commission in the next 90 days. And a lot of agents, they oversee that. Yeah. And it's sad, man. It's sad because I've been there. I've been in that situation, so I know what it's like. But there's so many ways you can leverage off of what we're already doing transactional-wise. Yeah. People see it as one way. We're opening up to 5 different ways. So just if you guys can picture this, like they've taken all the revenue that gets filtered up into the 1%, they're taking them out and redistributing it back to the agents who, let's be real, do most of the work. So 80%, if not more. Yeah. If you guys want to learn more about that, I'm going to drop a link in the description as well, so you can go and watch a webinar on Life at eXp, that hosted by Chris actually, and you can learn more about the model itself. We're not going to go too deep into the model today, but what I want to ask you, Chris, is why does the eXp model appeal so much to the entrepreneurial-minded agent? Well, because it was built by agents for agents. Pretty
Yeah.
simple.
Glenn was an agent.
Correct.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, and he will attest to this, he was more the introvert agent that was great at tech and lead gen. Not so much being that front of house agent, but it's a model that suits all agents if you can list and sell to monetize through multiple ways more than just one. So I think it's fair to say that we all have this entrepreneurial beast within us.
Yeah.
It's just how it's unlocked within. And it all comes back down to the environment. If you're in an environment where people are just used to and accustomed to working for somebody else, guess what? We spoke about the influence of 5. Well, if the 5 people around you are used to just going to the office every day and working for somebody else, you're going to be no dissimilar to those people.
Yeah.
In our model, though, we collaborate with each other in business and entrepreneurship and wealth creation and diversification, but it's your business, it's my business.
Yeah.
We're not working for each other. We're working for ourselves. So, for me, it's just about having an open mind is really important. The most critical conversations I have with agents is they don't understand our model because they've generally been influenced by somebody else because of fear, because they don't know what they know genuinely about our model and offering, or they're just complacent and comforted where they're at and they just don't want to expose themselves and open their mind to what else might be out there.
Yep.
All I say is if you've got an open mind, sometimes we watch a movie and we think, this is a crap movie, what else is out there? And we stop and have a look at other options, right?
Yeah.
It's the same here. If you're feeling like you're in a bit of play mode in your current environment, pause, have a look at what else is out there. You'll be amazed what you'll find.
Before we wrap up quickly, I've got a few more questions to ask you quickly. Now that you've switched over to this amazing model, you've been in here for a number of years now. What kind of freedom have you personally experienced since moving to this platform?
In short, I answer to nobody but my wife and my kids. Pretty simple.
The real boss, the real CEO.
Well,
kind of...
I think like if I want to do this or go there or start at this time or finish at that time, or I don't have to put in a form. I don't have to tell somebody, ask for permission. I generally just do and ask for forgiveness afterwards if I get something wrong. But I think the true testament to freedom is when you control what you can do in any given day.
Yeah.
And I can wake up tomorrow at whatever time I want. I can start when I want. I can finish when I want. I can catch up with you guys and do this when I want. So for me, it's just having control of what your day looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it all comes down to for me.
The true epitome of freedom.
Yeah.
Now, just quickly, if you were to start real estate all over again,
Yeah.
had this model been around during your time, would you still choose eXp?
Well, that's a simple answer. So let me answer this from people that are looking maybe where they're at, their current environment, and maybe those coming into the industry or starting fresh. Like for us, when we first started, it was about having a job and an opportunity. But now with new era models, you don't need to necessarily go and start working for somebody from day one. And the same goes for somebody that's experienced. Like you no longer actually need to, like I did, come up with all this capital to start something yourself. You can start off with a very nimble monthly subscription investment and start building and stacking and creating your own business without draining the bank account.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just about exploring different options. A lot of people think that the only options out there are the traditional way, and that's it. They know no different.
Yeah.
Again, it comes down to having that open mind. But, I think you've just got to explore your options out there. There's new era options, whether it's ours or a different option, cloud-based, tech-based, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's so much options available in 2025 to the industry agent, more so than what I ever had in 2009.
Yeah.
Back then, that was the norm. You go to an office, you do your traineeship, you have your window card of your listings in the window for sale. You just followed suit. Nowadays, the way you build your business is different to how I build mine.
Yeah.
How Marco does his business is uniquely different to both of ours. But that's a beautiful thing with the model we're plugged into. We can all operate in unison, but completely different at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's about the mechanism that's supporting and empowering our business, not us working for the business.
So in saying that, because I feel like eXp is for every agent, but not every agent is for this business.
Correct.
What type of person, what type of agent would be the right fit for this model?
A go-getter, someone who's hungry, a hustler, backs themselves, believes in themselves more than they need somebody else to do it for them. If you're an entrepreneur and you feel like you've got more to life than slaving for somebody else's time and their business and their brand, this is the perfect fit. If you're complacent, content, somebody who needs the pat on the back and the push every day from somebody, or that water cooler conversation, it's probably not the right fit. The two objections that I get about eXp is, and hand on heart I can say this now having been here 5 years, is what isn't the right fit for eXp for the certain agent? And I said, well, it's one of two things. One, if you don't want to work from home, go get an office and you can have it as your own, or plug into our Regis global office network. But if you like that water cooler conversation on Monday morning, hey, how was your weekend? Did you catch up with Sophie? How was Jimmy? Blah, blah, blah. If you like that, this can be a lonely game with what we do, but we still are united. We still collaborate online in different ways than the water cooler conversation. The second option is comfort and complacency. It's very easy in our home office to take 20 steps and walk down the hall there and watch Netflix and YouTube. So if you don't have the hustle and you don't have the structure and the organization, the commitment to actually work on your business, because this is genuinely yours now, it's very easy to watch Netflix and chill. So they're the two downfalls, in all honesty.
I really like what you say as well, because you say this model isn't a job, it's an opportunity.
That's
so
exactly what it is.
Agents need to see it from that perspective too. Like, you're not going to get paid a weekly wage or a retainer or anything like that. It's your business, and it's a vehicle to run your business your way.
Spot on.
Now, just quickly, you got this beautiful shirt on that says the Alpha State of Mind, and I've got it in my man boob is trying to make it look more like a cat than a lion.
Meow.
But we've got our director here laughing in the background, so it's very funny. Can you explain to the viewers what is the Alpha State of Mind? How can they come on board and be a part of this whole movement?
So it's something we're incredibly proud of because we built it from the ground up. And it really was built on the values and foundations of not even joining us.
Yeah.
Whether you come to eXp or not. It's just really, there's so much incredible collaboration that exists in our ecosystem and our industry, yet it doesn't flourish because it's met with so many roadblocks dependent on the color that you choose to represent or the flag that you fly. So the whole epicenter of the Alpha State of Mind was constructed to provide a platform and a system where all industry agents can come together united, irrespective of their backgrounds, to collaborate and to help each other, to empower each other and to lift each other up, both in business but also in life. So for me, that's where I find great pride in what we're doing, because like what we've seen in America, it's very collaborative. Here in Australia, it's very competitive.
Yeah.
And we all fight over each other for often what is the same business. And it shouldn't be that way. Getting back to the grassroots of people and who we are in today's podcast, we are humans. We are people before we're real estate agents. So for me, it's just about opening that channel up for all people to come through, whether they're struggling in scripts, dialogues, systems, texts, ideal week, workflows with Trello and Marco. And, you know, we all have expertise in different areas.
Yeah.
How can we pull that all together to help each other?
Yeah. So guys, if you're struggling in business and you want that additional training that you might not be getting from your own office, regardless of brand, regardless of flag, regardless of who you are, you're more than welcome to come on board and join us. We've got a closed Facebook group. You just got to send through a request. Join us and learn with us. Every Friday we host a session, and there's going to be some real cool, gritty things. If you guys like social media marketing, if you guys like digital marketing or workflows or training on how to edit videos, we've got it all there for you guys. And it's going to be a tutorial that we'll run from A to Z. You'll know everything, and we'll proudly accept you to come and join us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Chris, again, thank you for joining us today in the hot seat. I really appreciate it. And, you know,
You're next up, bud.
Oh, we'll be up next up. I get very nervous when I'm in the hot seat. But
And then Marco, and then we've got Tony in the hot seat as well. But Yeah, I guess we just wanted to keep this real raw behind the scenes so you get to know who we are. But as we move forward into future podcasts, we're going to talk about nitty-gritty industry-related stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to invite guests onto these sessions,
Absolutely.
into the couch as well. So, hey, if you're an industry agent, doesn't matter what flag you fly, reach out to us. We'd love to have you in the hot seat here. Your supplier, whoever you might be, anybody. If you're entrepreneurial, we want to hear from you.
And we can beam you in. If you are from another state, we can get you onto our online platform as well. So
We are somewhat tech savvy, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit, except for this overheating situation. Again, brother, thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having us in the hot seat.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Bye for
Thanks,
now.
folks. Cheers.
The alpha state of mind. Alpha vibes, yeah, we rise. Collaboration, open skies. Step in the zone, you'll find. This is the alpha state of mind. Alpha vibes, yeah, we grind. Helping you hustle and align. Step in the zone, you'll find. This is the alpha state of mind, yeah. From the open house to the closing table. Turning small talk